Well, hi guys and girls, it's Emma again. Welcome back to the spare room. Today we got another episode in making this little engine of Myford Boys. The next parts, I guess, are the crank bushes or the main bearings. They're pretty straightforward. And I've got an offcut here of brass. Here's got a really good tip about actually cutting it all at once, less you plus your part off material and the cylinder piece, and using the cylinder piece to hold on so you don't waste any material. But I've got a short bit of that, so that's going to do me. Now they've got a 3/8 hole that presses in here 300 long, which is probably about how wide that is, so that's where that measurement came from. The one to go on this side, which is the crank side, it has an inch boss on it that's quite thin. It's about 1/16 of an inch thick. The one that goes on this side, which is the flywheel side, has a thicker bush that's a little bit smaller diameter. So they're pretty much simple. The pieces that go in the holes are both exactly the same, but the flange or the boss on the end of it is different for each one. So I'm going to make the inch one first. So we've got a bit of 25.4 brass there. First thing will be to machine him off and machine a 300 by 375 diameter boss on there, and bore him and ream him and part him off. It's pretty much as simple as that. We'll turn him around the other way and face him again. So a word about fits. There's a couple of ways to do this. You can measure the internal bore, and you can measure this and get it exactly right, or you can make it fit. Myford Boy, probably just to show off, made these a press fit, which is nice. And probably not unobtainable. It's still a fraction tight. I've put a bit of a taper on the end with a file, which was really straightforward, as simple as that. 0.02 of a millimetre or something there, which isn't far out. And if you take 0.01 at a time, and take your time and take a few cuts, you'll get it so it's not far out. Now one more would probably do that. This is something that needs practice, and this is a good place to do it because brass bars, look, if you bought a bit to do this project, well, you probably bought 12 inches of it. And getting these right won't be such an expensive sort of an exercise. Now I'm going to go just a fraction more. Now I reckon that's going to press in there, especially with the bore and the wheel. Next job is to find the centre drilling and run a 1/4 inch reamer right through. So then of course it's drilled and reamed. It's fairly easy job to part that off a bit oversized. Seriously guys, it's brass. piece of round rod. Don't forget that that's probably going to be hot, and when you pick it up you're going to drop it on the floor like I just did. If we turn that round and chuck him up again, it's a fairly easy job to face him off. I get a lot of comments about this lathe and why I'm messing around with this and don't go and buy myself a worn out Myford or a Chinese machine, something a bit more universal that you can get bits for easy. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that this machine's got some cool accessories when I finally find them all. Second one is that I can part off brass at that speed and steel at the same speed, and it doesn't worry it because everything's beautifully made. Third one is that it's got some features that ordinary run-of-the-mill lathes don't have. And fourth one is that I'm sort of feeling a bit in love with it after all this time. It's the same thing, don't take too much at once, wait till the machine stops before you check it. Now don't run the reamer through again, because if your chuck's out you're going to end up with either an oblong hole or you're going to end up with an off-centre hole. I had a look at the pictures and I don't think this is a typo, but it's a pretty thin little bush. You take him out of the chuck, and that's one bush. That's taken me, I guess, looking at my watch, about 15-20 minutes. So those that have the argument that they don't have time for machining or to make an engine, that's one component for the engine made in about 20 minutes one night. All that remains is to make the other one pretty much the same and press them in. So if you are going to measure this and measure the hole, use a micrometer, don't mess around with a vernier. It's a couple of good reasons for this. One is that they're usually easier to read. Second one is that you've got wide first surfaces, so you can't get any rock, whereas a vernier is very, very narrow and you get a false reading very easily. So that wants to be 3/8, which is, we'll read this off, 300th thou. We got 1, 2, 3 little spaces, and it's right on, so that's close enough for me. And I think that's going to push in there nicely. So let's wind this back out of the way. Spot drill him and drill him 6mm. Now because we haven't got a through hole in this one, I've only reamed it in that far, and I'm going to ream him from the other side. Now because we haven't got a through hole in this one, I've only reamed him in that far, and that's a good start. I'm going to part him off and press him in, and then ream him right through from the other bush so that they line up nice. So next thing is to check this to make sure it's 650 thou. It's probably not particularly critical, but we'll try this diameter to make sure it is 650, and then we'll part him off. So pushing this together is pretty easy. Just sit him in the vise with 2 pieces of timber so we don't scratch anything. And it's in, nice and tight. Nice job, just to get the hand reamer and run through there from this side. Your reamer should go straight through there, so if you took the tap chuck off, it should go straight through. But if you've had this reamer in the drill vise and your drill vise isn't particularly good, it might slip and you've got a little burr on there, so just check that first, because that'll wreck your bushes. Anyway, it's a bit of 1/4 inch silver steel, silver or drill rod or whatever you want to call it. It's just a fraction tight in there, so we might have to ream him a little bit, hone him out. It's a good fit. And I think it'd go in there, but a little bit of 1/4 inch down in the lathe with some valve grinding paste on it, and that'll be fairly easy to get that out to size. Anyway guys, that's the bushes done. Thanks for watching, and more soon. Be kind to each other. Thumbs up and leave a comment.